So for the last couple of weeks, I've been hard at work testing the Uneekor EYE MINI, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you everything I've discovered indoors and outdoors, what I love about it, what I don't love about it, who I think it's for, who it's not for, and ultimately, is it going to be the launch monitor that I'm going to trust for my practice moving forward? So coming in at $4,500, this isn't a cheap or a budget-friendly launch monitor. This is definitely one of the more elevated, expensive at-home units comparable to a fully loaded FlightScope Mevo, a GC3, or a Bushnell Launch Pro. And let's just get one thing clear. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. It's not small. It's definitely a big piece of kit. It's heavy, and that is made abundantly clear when your box arrives. It's a big box. That being said, the unboxing experience was really, really cool, really elevated, really luxurious. And the carrying case that it comes with is definitely nothing to scoff at. It's so well made, it's so luxury, it's so elevated. Every little slot in here is perfectly cut for every piece that you need with the EYE MINI. And moving from that, you literally can open this thing from the box, put it down, and use it. That's awesome. That experience, because you've got a screen, because it's giving you 10 data points right there, you can open it and you can go. Before you've even downloaded any app or linked it to your iPad or your PC, you literally can open it up and go. That's special. That's really good. The fact that you can get 10 units of data right there on the screen with this beautiful e-ink display. Really, really something special, and that's one thing that I absolutely love about this, because that's so good when you go outside. You can go out to the range with this, and you don't need your phone, you don't need your iPad. You're getting the data that will help you practice right there on the screen. And speaking of the screen, like I said, it's an e-ink display, it's not LCD, so you don't have to worry about angles or light. It's kind of like an Amazon Kindle, where it's this white backlit thing that you're basically able to see it at any angle and any light, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the buttons too. I love that it's just a little more tactile, a little bit easier to click through. You're not swiping, you're not doing any of that. This kind of user interface is a 10 out of 10. Personally, I love everything about it. And speaking to this data, these 10 points, it's like that fast. You hit a shot, the data's there. There's not this waiting, this lag. It's right there. Yeah, some pieces of data are missing. If you don't have the club face stickers on it, you are gonna get pretty spotty club data. You're gonna get it sometimes, you're not gonna get it sometimes. So that's a bit of a bother. But when you put the club face sticker on, it's perfect. It's not missing anything. And to get that fast data is really, really great. And then when you do sync it up to your iPad, or when I did sync it up to my iPad, so fast. Moving from that, I am an iPad or a mobile only user. I don't have a PC in here for my testing, for my practice. So I'm reviewing this as an iPad mobile only user. I'm not reviewing this as a full PC user. And with the Uneekor EYE MINI, you need to use a PC if you want to open up the whole simulator side of this. I only have an iPad, so I'm not detailing or talking about anything simulator related to this. I'm not really a simulator golfer. I'm a practicer. I love to practice, and if I can find a unit that's gonna make my practice even more efficient and more elevated, I'm gonna fall in love with it. So that's what I'm kind of diving into. I'm diving into this as a practice unit and the iPad only version of the software. So now that I'm, talking about the iPad app, what's that experience like? It's good. Obviously, I've used a handful of launch monitors over the last couple of years, and I'm using them all with the phone or the iPad. This connects to the Wi-Fi network really quickly. That setup was not cumbersome, and the data you're getting on screen is good, and to be able to get different pieces of information, different screens, is really, really impressive. I really enjoy the slowed down club head data that you're getting. Kind of like the Rapsodo, where they're giving you that behind the ball to get it kind of at impact, to see what the club is doing. Pairing it with those measurements is a really, really great screen where I think you can learn a lot from when you're practicing. And then the full screen of data, that's impressive. You're getting 15 to 16 measured metrics on each shot. You're not getting 5 or 6 measured metrics where the other ones are then created out of an algorithm. You're getting 15, 16 measured metrics on every shot. And the more accurate, the more measured metrics you can get, the more you can learn from your data and practice better and learn and improve. Just great stuff right there. It's not all apple pies and rainbows here. This isn't just a love fest for this thing. Yes, there's a lot of things I love about it, but there's definitely some things that I wasn't a fan of, and I'm gonna share those with you. Yeah, you don't have a phone app. It's not the best. I mean, obviously the iPad, the screen is great. Put it on an HDMI onto my projector, that's awesome. But sometimes you're out on the range, and if you want to be able to see some stuff on screen, having a phone app, I think, would be a bit more of an elevated full ecosystem. So definitely a little knock right there. I don't love that you need a PC to unlock everything. Yes, other launch monitors that exist, you can unlock everything on an iPad, and I think to be able to compete across the whole gamut of the launch monitor space, you should be iPad enabled or tablet enabled or mobile enabled for your sim software and your practice software. The fact that only the practice software is on the iPad and you need a PC to unlock the sim software, that's a bit of a downer. And like I said, I'm not getting into that, but yeah, there's definitely some subscription fees, and there's those things which kind of are par for the course, but also you're already spending a lot of money then to throw on subscription fees to unlock simulator, third party. Bit of a downer. I did find the club data obviously to be a bit sporadic without the stickers. So take with that what you will. If you want to put stickers on all of your clubs, yes, you're going to get the best club data, but then when you're out golfing, do you like looking down at those stickers? So it's just kind of, I know a GC Quad and a GC3, it's the same deal. You need to put stickers on to get the best readings. But when there's no stickers on, sometimes you're getting no readings. So that's a little bit troublesome. Not the end of the world, but if I'm sharing with you the things I don't like, that's one thing that I wasn't loving. Just inconsistent club face, whether we got it or didn't get it without the club face stickers. I'd say the biggest issue I came across, and I've seen this online, I've heard of it from other players, the club speed data, especially with driver and 3-wood, is wildly inconsistent. Like, you can have some driver swings that are 140 miles per hour, and then they're 105. And the 3-wood, you'll see it here in the app, it's just inconsistent. And I don't know why that would be happening, because it's not like the club head speed data was way up, so now the ball speed was way up. Like, every other reading was right, was great, but the club speed was just off. And I hope Uneekor starts paying attention to enough of the conversation online that is coming up about this, and they can fix that. They can refine that. But the club head speed, yeah, just really, really sporadic. So if you're trying to speed train or maybe like test multiple shafts, heads when it comes to driver 3-wood, you need to know your numbers really well. And I know my numbers, but it'd be nice to see them consistently in there. But when they're kind of jumping all over the place, but the ball speed numbers are the same, it's just a bit like, oh, it's bizarre, it's strange. Definitely not full marks there. That's something that definitely needs to be improved upon, and it will be, and it can. But if I'm saying it, I mean, yeah, it's weird to hit a 3-wood that has 140 miles per hour of club head speed and 150 miles of ball speed. And when I was going about this video, I was like, oh, you know, I want to compare it with Mevo Plus, because I've been using Mevo Plus for so long, and I really trust Mevo Plus's numbers, and then using these numbers definitely are just as good. But then I was kind of like, yeah, I don't think it compares to Mevo Plus. And hear me out, this is why. The Mevo Plus has so much data, so much information, but it's a behind the ball unit. So there's certain limitations that has. Like I said, if you're indoors, you have to have space to really optimize that. If you don't have the space and your Mevo Plus is too close to the ball, your numbers are gonna be off. Or you're too close to the net or the screen, your numbers aren't gonna be consistent and trustworthy. And then the Mevo Plus, when you get outside, if you're using range balls, it just struggles with range balls and you have to level it. It's just difficult. And this being a beside the ball unit is for a player that wants really, really good data now. Again, with Mevo Plus, you need an iPad, you need a phone, you need the screen to show you what you're doing. When I took this outside to test it, I didn't need to bring my iPad with me. I was getting everything I needed right there on the screen. That experience is night and day from a behind the ball launch monitor where you need an iPad. So that's where I kind of think they don't compare. Yes, we can compare the readings, but the use and who they're for, I don't think they compare. And that brings me to the outside experience. When I went outside to test this, I fell in love with it even more because I literally can just put it down, hit my shots, get my readings, and learn from it. And I had some stickers already on a couple of my clubs. And yes, my numbers were then getting even better when it comes to club face. But I found, even with a range ball, it wasn't like reading low because of the range ball. It was reacting almost as if the range ball was a regular ball. The spin, maybe that's what varies, especially with wedges. But hitting driver with this, with a range ball, I was really, really impressed because the numbers were pretty dang close to what I would expect out on the golf course. Yeah, I definitely saw the club head numbers kind of change, but I digress. And where I really think this blows so many other launch monitors away, and this is where I think GC3 or that Bushnell Launch Pro is kind of the same deal, to work kind of in that 30 to 100 yard range. If you have access to like a short game facility, area, pitching green even, where you can use your own golf balls, put this down. You can pay attention to your angle of attack, your spin, your path, wow, launch angle. Like this making short game wedge practice so good. Like, and you can understand why tour players have one of these, a GC quad, at their side whenever they're practicing now, because you're able to learn right there on screen. You don't have to look at a tablet. Yeah, using this on the range really, really impressed me. The way I was so impressed when I first opened this thing, but then I was like, man, I can't wait to just go to the short game area at my course and practice. Because I want to compete here and there again, and I need to refine my wedge game, because hitting shots in here and working on my swing is great. Getting data, understanding everything is fantastic. But the scoring clubs, the wedges, that's where you really need to work. And this is going to allow me to get so much work out of my short game in those short clubs without any cumbersome setup, leveling, looking at a screen. I literally just put it down and start hitting shots. And that's where I think this thing is so impressive, and I definitely will trust this with my practice. So there you go. There are my findings. There's so many pros. There's a handful of cons, but ultimately I think this thing is very, very impressive, and I didn't even open or tap into the simulator experience. So for that price tag, if you're someone that wants to have incredibly efficient practice, get trustworthy numbers, learn from those numbers, oh, and play great simulator golf, because you can see online the sim golf on this is really freaking good. This is a really, really good unit, and that fact that it's just kind of new here to North America, it's only going to get better. I'm really excited to use this moving forward. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know down below, do you have one of these? What's your experience like with one of these? Love to hear it.